Whoops, I was muted. Hey, hey everyone, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys had the most beautiful day. Oh wait, today's not Sunday, today's Monday. JK, happy Monday, guys. I hope you guys have had the most beautiful Monday. I hope you've had a great week. Hope your weekend was great. I totally want to hear about it. And if you don't want to tell me, totally fine. Keep your secrets. But man, have I missed you guys, and I can't wait to tell you about all the things I have been up to. Hi, Vol, thank you for the check-in. PS Addict, thank you for the check-in. Arctic, thank you for the check-in. Just stopping by to say hi, have a great stream. Hi, thank you for coming in. TC, thank you for the lurk. Enjoy your time in the honey pot. Billy, thank you for the check-in. And thank you for the resub. Happy 3 months, my friend. I am so glad you are here and you are so welcome in my den. I promise I'll keep protecting you. Have you finished getting your house settled is the real question. Hi, Bull. And hello to anyone else that's here that maybe just hasn't made themselves known yet. What is going on? I have so much to tell you guys. So the last time, hold on, let me put my little disclaimer up there. Toasty is reading The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali. I have been so busy. I literally just got home not that long ago. Maybe like 10-15 minutes ago. It's been a busy day. Okay, cool. Now it's pinned. So the last time I was here was what? Tuesday? Last Tuesday? Yeah. So Wednesday, what do you call it? What did I do Wednesday? What the F did I do Wednesday? I went to dinner with a friend. We had street tacos, and then her and I walked around Ross, and then I went home and I watched The Boys finale, which was great. I have a lot of feelings about it, but overall, I'm not mad at how it ended. I'll just say it like that. I don't want to make any spoilers, but it was fine. Like it was an adequate finale. It's not any worse than the Game of Thrones finale. So, but I will say it's not the best for sure. Like this last season was not nearly as good as some of the earlier seasons, but I still enjoyed it. Thursday, I went to the honky tonk. Was that Thursday? Did I do that Thursday? Wait, no, Thursday I went to bingo. Thursday I went to bingo. That I was sitting here like that was last week or so, maybe. So Thursday I went to bingo with my best goyle. We didn't win anything, but I got like a big we always bring like a big drink, from somewhere, like Sonic or well, usually it's Sonic, or we'll just bring like our own. And yeah, we played bingo and that was fun, but I'm such an old lady at heart. I am. But yeah, bingo was cool. That's all we did. Thank goodness. And then I came home and just chilled and relaxed. Friday, I went to a friend's house. They had like a little barbecue thing and we played darts. And I didn't win that either. So that sucks. Just loser all around. Hi, Europe. How are you? Thank you for the check in. I played darts and that was a lot of fun. Gosh, I've had like such a busy week, but it's been so good. Everybody wanted to take advantage of the long weekends. So Saturday, Saturday I went to the honky tonk. Saturday during the day I didn't do anything except chill, mostly, and did like house stuff, catching up on some chores and everything. And then I also, in the evening, went to the honky tonk, and that was great. And then some places were open on Sunday, so we went out dancing on Sunday as well, which is why I wasn't here with you guys. Went out, enjoyed a ladies' night, or I guess their version of ladies' night, and it was pretty great. Pretty great. Lots of fun. lots of fun all around. And then today, just now, I went to a Memorial Day like barbecue thing. And we were playing this game called Hues and Clues, which I've never played before, but I actually really, really enjoy it. And I'm probably going to buy it myself. And I didn't win at that either. So. And in the midst of all this, guys, your girl got her Jeep. And I have taken it out on the road a few times. And she's the gem that I thought she'd be. So I love her so much. It's so different than driving my Tesla. It's the oldest car I've ever like owned and driven. So that was great. And I'm very, very happy. Everything's great. And that is the tea. Tomorrow night, I will have my parents' dogs here in the house because they're on a cruise right now. And they need someone to watch their dogs for the latter half. They split it. They did half at the kennel, and then the other half is going to be with me. So I'll have their dogs here tomorrow night, so that kind of blows. But other than that, I'm in really, really good spirits. Really good spirits. I've done a little bit of pole, went to the gym, but mostly my working out has come from dancing. And that is everything that you missed on this episode of Dragon Ball Z. Nice on the Jeep. Thank you. Yes, I'm quite happy with it. Quite happy with it. It's an '08, so it's so different from my car, but I like it a lot. Although just now when I got home, it had the low tire pressure thing, and they just put new tires on it. So that's why I'm like, oh, don't tell me I picked up a nail or something. I looked around, I didn't see nothing, so we'll have to see, guys. You're good, super exhausted. Your whole family was at my house all day with your nieces and nephews, so you're burnt out. Oh no, that sounds like a lot of burnout. But yeah, it was good. They do the windscreen and the windshield. Yes, they did change the windshield and they put new tires on it. And they even sent me home with a full tank of gas. I've driven her at night and partially in some crappy weather, but she's been great. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Hi, Bayo. How are you? Dealing with 6 kids, 5 and under is a lot. I bet. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, everything's been really great, guys. I had the cutest little dress on today. I wore a cute outfit last night. The night before that, like I've been feeling really good. Could also be a tire sensor go out from time to time, about a $60 fix. I hope that's all it is, because obviously I don't want to get new tires and I don't want to walk out to a flat tire. So it's only gonna be my occasional vehicle though, so but I'm gonna keep an eye on it. The only thing I've done with it, am I gonna wrap it in yellow? I don't know yet. I want to, but it's expensive, so we'll see. The only thing I've done so far is my friend helped me swap out the headlights because it had like these really dim yellow ones, and I was like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. And then I put a new rear view mirror in that is like a front camera, back camera, and also does like Apple CarPlay on it. It's real small. I'll try to take a picture of it if I can keep myself out of it, but I put that in, and that's the only modern thing that I want to do to it because I want to keep the old radio in it. And then I had to change a back bulb, like the backup bulb, because water got in that area. So, and that's the tea. Most tire patch jobs are free if you take it to a tire shop. Okay. They can also tell you if the sensor's going out. Okay, well then I'll probably just take it to them then sometime during the week. Hopefully it's just a patch. I'll be back. Gotta hop in the shower. Have fun. Hi, Flash. Welcome in. Yeah, everything is going pretty well. Like I'm happy. I had a great time. I've danced a lot, which is like my favorite thing to do. Like I'm just in good spirits, guys. Like kind of makes you wonder like when's the other shoe gonna drop? No, I'm just kidding. Things are going well. And they're about to get even better because tonight we are doing more reading. We are getting down to the wire for this book. It's getting close to the end. I don't know how many chapters are left, but I know we're getting into it. You had a very stressful weekend? Oh no. I hope this week is kinder to you. Am I expecting another shoe? No. Just, when things are going too well, you're like, man, What's lurking around the corner? What's gonna rear its ugly head, you know? That's just my paranoia though. When things are going too well, I'm like, something is coming. Work's been good, guys. Nothing really crazy at work. My lead had to get on to people about taking too many breaks. Because, like, people, you're allowed to take a break, right? But, like, if you're always gone and people can't find you, that's when it becomes an issue. And I guess some people were doing that. Like, they would take, like, a handful of 30-minute breaks. So adding up to hours of them being gone, which isn't allowed. And their work wasn't getting done. So it's one thing to, like, take a break. It's a whole nother thing if your work's not getting done. You know? Let's just do it like this. Your name is gigantic here, Billy. You see it? It's like, everybody look at me. I gotta fix that. I'll just do it like that. Actually, when I speak about the other shoe, I typically... Actually, when I speak about the other shoe, it's typically when things are bad and the other shoe is something worse. I don't use that phrase when things are going well. Oh, I see. I see. I always think it's like when things are going good, like that's one thing. The other shoe is like the bad shoe. The only thing that could suck with the tire sensor is if you need to replace all 4 of them. I hope not, Billy. I'll leave you guys posted. PSO had it work. Have they only just noticed since Hard Worker Toast showed up? I don't think so. I think it's just finally becoming a really big issue. But it's got me all paranoid. Like if I go take a walk, I hope no one's like, oh, well, Toast is taking a walk, you know? You're just that special. You are. All right, let's get into the summary of this book. I gotta be honest, I can't remember exactly what happened other than like her and Walter got married. Right, her and Walter got married. Walter, is there that much work? There is that much work, but like equally there is a lot of downtime. I think the problem is that people want the appearance of working. They want you chained to the desk, even if you're not actually working. They'd rather you sit there and doom scroll at your desk than go for a walk outside. In my opinion, allegedly. But some people aren't getting their work done. So, because I take walks, but my work is all done. Sometimes I even have time to read. Not much, but a lot of times people just, they work slow or put it off, and it's becoming an issue for some people. So, all right. In the last chapter, we heard all about her and Walter's beginnings. They, remember she was supposed to marry Marjan, but a lot of things happened. These fake letters, we assume they're fake. These letters came out about like, don't talk to me anymore, and I would be happier with someone else, and da-da-da. Bauman and Roya took it at face value, so they never got married. They didn't see each other, like, they just kind of gave up. They just said, oh, okay, yeah, this is a total switch up, that's fine. They don't want me anymore, even though they've wanted me this whole time. And Roya and her sister Zari end up going to America, where she meets Walter. Zari is with some guy. Is it Jack or Daniel? Charles? I feel like it is Jack, but I really can't think. Yeah, it's Jack. Zari is with a free-spirited artist named Jack, and they're married. And Roya meets this sweet, sensitive, understanding guy named Walter, and she ends up marrying him. And Walter's family is kind of annoying. They're like, hey, where's your baby? And she's like, oh, I'm not ready to have a baby. And they're also like, Patricia seems to kind of not like the sister for some reason. Or it doesn't seem to like Roya for some reason. And that's Walter's sister. Roya still kind of has Bauman John in the back of her mind, but she kind of forces him back there. And she's married to Walter. So that's where we're at. This next part is called Part 4. We're going to go ahead and dive into it. As always, I'll read a chapter and then we'll stop and talk. Read another chapter, we'll stop and talk. I'll read a chapter and we'll stop and talk. So here we go, guys. Part 4. Chapter 21, 1958, Births. I did not expect a son and a daughter at the same time. It's a specific kind of joy blended with exhaustion, an attachment that overwhelms. We are consumed by them. We are blessed and in awe. May God protect them. The other night I came home from work and the cook had made a special egg and garlic dish popular in her village up north, and both of the twins started to cry at the same time. And I could tell that had it not been for the servants and the nurse, Shala would have been at her wit's end. Mother came to visit and she sat quietly and retreated into her corner. I don't for a second forget any one of the number of things she said to you that were cruel. I felt shame at her lack of an emotional filter, at her forceful and cutting words. I remember when you were at my parents' house and my mother said things to hurt you, cut you, scare you. I was so convinced that she was being cruel, and I can understand on my best days why that would scare you away. But here's the history you do not know. I was not my parents' first child. I was not their second nor their third. I was not my mother's fourth. I was the fifth child my mother had, and the others who preceded me all died. 2 were stillborn, 1 died in my mother's 8th month of pregnancy, and 1 died in her first year of life. That my parents kept trying was a testament to their desire in the times. I don't know if my parents had more children after me. Maybe they did and I was too young to remember another one dying. My mother only told me about these other lost babies in a moment of extreme duress, on a day I'd rather forget. It was the day that changed everything for us, for you and me, you could say. Of course, my mother wasn't alone in losing babies in those days, but others seemed to have borne it better. Maybe it was that she lost so many in a row. I attributed her melancholy to the loss of those babies. I attributed her depression and mood swings and instability, all of it, to that. How was I supposed to know that there was a loss that preceded all the others, that hung over everything? I hope that you are well over there in America. Be good. Be safe. I hope you are healthy, happy. My children keep me going. Do you know of what I speak? That was 1 chapter, and I'm gonna read I'm not gonna treat it like, that doesn't count because it was so short. So now we kind of know why Mrs. Oslin was such a raging B word. She's lost all those kids. And with all those losses, she's probably, still experiencing postpartum and then depression, feeling like it's herself, all these complex emotions that go into something like that. So it's actually really, really sad to hear that that was their 5th child and that they actually, after having one alive, it's kind of crazy. Wasn't she pretty bad before all that? I don't know that she was pretty bad. I think she just didn't have a proper upbringing, because she was the melon merchant's daughter, so maybe she just didn't have the great upbringing, but I don't know if she was that emotional. And hi Vader, thank you for the check-in. So Bauman went to have kids and he's still writing to her, huh? Alright, let me go ahead and let me dive into this next chapter. Chapter 22, 1962 to 1963, Marigold. Sister, Jack and I are expecting our first child. Also, I have learned how to make eggplant karesh without the eggplant. Roya read Zari's letter and filed it neatly on her desk in the pile of to-dos. She wrote back in Farsi and added "Congratulations" in English in block letters at the bottom of the page. As she licked the envelope and sealed it shut, Roya reminded herself of her goals. She was working hard as a secretary at the business school. Her typing speed had soared. It was not the kind of job she had expected to be doing, but compromise was the name of the game in her new adult life. She simply had been unable to get a good, or any, job in science, and it was not for lack of trying. This was what it was to be a woman, she knew. She was already pushing boundaries by even insisting on working. And in science, there was always the assumption that she would be taking the job from a well-qualified man. And as a foreigner, well, shouldn't she just be grateful to be in this country? That was the underlying message she often received from well-intentioned friends and neighbors. Roya scaled back her ambition. At the back of her mind, a question nagged. Patricia was right. She should be starting a family. What was she so afraid of? For goodness sake, why did she think something bad would happen? Roya walked to the post office and mailed a letter to Zari. She would call her later in the week, send a present, of course. Of course. She walked home quickly, remembering all she had to do. She was happy for Zari and Jack, though. She really was. She was busy, though. Boy, wasn't she so busy. Sometimes in her dreams, Maman would appear. His smile, the musky scent, the eyes filled with hope, his touch, how he leaned into her against the books at the stationery shop. The taste of that first espresso, the sweet pastry, the slope of his back next to hers. She willed herself to forget it all when she was awake. She could not allow it to interfere with the present script of her life. In the dreams, he was always young, sometimes happy. On the phone at Persian New Year, Jahangir told her that Baman and Shala were busy with their children now. Twins. Twins! A once-a-year phone call with Jahangir was the only way Roya ever heard news about Baman. Maman and Baba certainly never talked of him. During her first 2 years in the US, she had exchanged letters with a few of the girls she'd gone to school with in Iran and with 2 of her cousins. But as months wore on, they stopped writing to each other. Too much distance, too much time. The only people she exchanged letters with anymore were her parents in Iran and Zari in California. But the annual phone call with Jahangir kept her connected to a past she couldn't bring herself to abandon, no matter how painful. Walter studied hard, and Roya was happy. Well, content. Well, settled at her job at Harvard Business School. HBS, they called it. Everyone loved acronyms in America. Her coworkers were efficient and sometimes kind. It was satisfying to insert the paper in the typewriter every morning, to type letters to the dean and other professors, to take notes, file papers, put things in absolute order. She liked being on top of things. Everything was in its place. The files, the letters, sharpened pencils, manila folders. She controlled her world with precise care. So, Patricia said when over for another dinner, how is everything with you two? Anything exciting on the horizon? May I get you a drink, Patricia? Walter asked through gritted teeth. I'm holding one, but thanks, Patricia smiled. Walter, remember Richard from the Cape Cottage when we were growing up? His family and ours were very close. Patricia said the last bit to Roya in an explanatory tone, as if bringing her up to date, even though Roya knew Richard. She and Walter had dinner with him and his wife regularly. Well, Patricia went on, he and his lovely wife, oh, I love Susan, she is so elegant, are expecting their 3rd child. 3rd! Patricia sipped her drink. Roya went to the kitchen and fried some onions for no reason at all. She sprinkled mint on them and ate them out of the pan as her body shook. She and Walter were in their mid-20s now. Most of their friends and acquaintances had at least 1 child, but it was not too late for them. Patricia was rude, direct, and interfering. It was none of her business. They had managed to wait, and wait they would. She came on her own schedule. She was born in Mount Auburn Hospital on January 11th, 1962. And when Roya held her, when she looked into her eyes that were strangely alert, held the tiny, milky, cheesy body pressed against her own, she was terrified. But Roya was also, in a strange way, real again. She was not an actress in an American movie. She was delirious and dizzy, yes, but amazingly grounded at the same time. For the first time in a long time, Roya was fully herself again. When they came home from the hospital, Alice took care of the 3 of them. Alice, who smelled of potato salad and lotion, who was matter-of-fact with Roya, and enchanted with her granddaughter. Roya missed Maman solely, but was grateful for Alice's presence, boiling everything in sight as a hedge against infection, providing good cheer, and making endless quantities of baked potatoes with sour cream. Alice's face crumpled a year later when their baby stopped breathing. Alice cried in the car as they drove to the hospital in an icy panic. The baby gasped for air. Marigold. Her name was Marigold. She'd landed in their lives, and for almost 12 months, Roya had lost layers of her reserve. She had never given Walter complete access to herself. She had a part of herself always locked away. He'd accepted it. He was Walter. Grateful just to have her there, to see her every morning. But Marigold, with her light brown hair, her gray eyes, her soft mules as she breastfed, grabbing onto Roya with startling strength. Marigold broke through every single glacial wall Roya had built up and melted it with her toothless smile. For 12 months, Roya, exhausted and exhilarated, was purely herself. Even the romance of her youth fizzled in comparison. Nothing had ever meant everything to her, the way this baby did. On the drive to the hospital, Walter clutched the steering wheel, silent. Snow steadily fell. Snowbanks hardened and grayed. The sound of Alice's prayers filled the car, verses from the Bible and entreaties to God. Alice had driven from the Cape to visit them. They had been having Sunday dinner when Marigold's bad cough wouldn't stop. When the fever she'd had for days flared higher. When she wheezed and gasped for air. As Roya sat so still in the back seat with her burning baby in her arms, she felt like she might crack and splinter into pieces. Just let my child be all right. Please let the doctors bring down her fever. She will be better, of course. She has to be. Marigold wheezed, and then out of devastation, Roya sang her an old Persian folk song. Alice stopped praying and listened, and Walter just drove as fast as possible on the ice. The nurse who took Marigold from Roya's arms had a blonde beehive under her white cap. Her breath smelled of cigarettes. Roya did not want to give her daughter to this woman. She wanted to keep her close. The doctor who arrived had a pimple above his lip, ready to burst. Years later, as Roya walked the blocks around her house, she'd be furious for remembering the doctor's pimple and the nurse's cigarette smell. They had come between her and her baby. They had inserted themselves into the tragedy of her life, and they would forever haunt her memories on a loop. Marigold was pronounced dead 43 minutes after their arrival at the hospital. On the linoleum floor, beneath the fluorescent lights, Roya's legs went numb. The doctor's voice was garbled. He was speaking through mud. Just like when she'd arrived in America, English was incomprehensible. Beside her stood Walter. He hovered next to her, tall and silent, and in her peripheral vision she saw his huge hands shaking. Alice was diagonally across from her. Everything about her mother-in-law was motionless, except for her tears. The three of them went home at dawn. There was no avoiding it, though Roya had considered simply staying in the hospital and not leaving, and maybe starving to death on its linoleum floor. In that building, with its beeping and noise, and a million other emergencies that could never have been as important as Marigold's life. In the place that smelled of death, they had sat for hours, and Walter had signed paperwork, and then they were told to leave. During the ride home, the snowbanks loomed. Limbs she did not have. She could not feel her arms, or legs, or her fingers. Roya knew it was someone other than herself in the car. She missed more than anything else Marigold's face against hers. Her grief would have no end. Of this, she was sure. It was Walter, finally, who made her tea. It was Walter who got out of bed every morning and made the hard-boiled eggs. He didn't whistle anymore. Something sour was always in the air now, rotting in the crater left in Marigold's wake. "You didn't need to come," Roya said a few weeks later when Zari showed up, suitcase in hand, 2 tiny kids in tow. Roya stood at the doorway of her darkened house, dirty dishes in the sink in the kitchen behind her, laundry piled up, mustiness in the air. "Oh, but I did, sister." Zari's son, Darius, was 4 now. His little sister, Layla, wriggled in Zari's arms. Layla was 2. 12 months Layla had lived that Marigold would never have. Everything, every detail, every word, every second, every person reminded Roya of Marigold. Except that reminded wasn't the right word. Reminded meant that she had to forget to remember again, but she never forgot. Everything was linked to Marigold. Nothing, really, could be separated from her ever. Not even words uttered by a crazy woman in Iran a lifetime ago. Babies die. Here was Layla in Zari's arms. Here was her niece, chubby, happy, breathing, alive, a knitted pink bonnet on her head. A bonnet that Zari would have wrapped and placed in a package and mailed to Roya with a note saying, Mama and June knitted it and sent it. Layla's outgrown it. Marigold should wear it now. Marigold should. If. Darius squealed and ran to the kitchen. Zari took her shoes off and shouted at Darius to not run through the house with wet boots. Roya stared out at the snow as her sister and niece and nephew rushed past her. The world dared to go on in cold, spiteful glee. To reform Jack, Zari had moved mountains. Under Zari's expert stewardship, Jack, the beat poet, transformed into a corporate hack. He wrote jingles for ads, first for print and eventually for television, and if the former idealist poet was saddened by this transformation, one could not tell. Whenever Roya had seen him, Jack was beaming, his kids hanging off him like zoo monkeys, his formerly long hair in a buzz cut. In his suits and thin ties, he was the epitome of a 1960s advertising employee. How had Zari managed to mold her man into this? What wonder drug did she give her Jack? What kept that smile on his face? Oh, sister, we both know in the end it comes down to what happens in bed, don't we? That's how you get anything done, let's face it. I am no fool, and I know what to do. At the thought of beds and sheets and lovemaking, Roya simply felt numb now. Zari cleaned the house, the kind of thorough cleaning normally reserved for Persian New Year, the first day of spring. But it wasn't spring. It was still winter. The ice and the snow were everywhere. Zari didn't care, she cleaned. And Roya thought of all the rituals with which they had been raised to celebrate the first day of spring, all useless now. As if she would never again have the wherewithal to prepare a half-seen table for Persian New Year, to set it with items beginning with S that were symbolic of rebirth and renewal. No. To soak lentils in water so they could grow green, sprouts, to paint eggs to celebrate fertility. Never. Persian New Year, the first day of spring, Nowruz. Meaningless now. All of it. Walter and Roya wouldn't celebrate it or Christmas or Thanksgiving either. What was the point? Zari washed her windows in February in New England. Why bother? They'd be covered by snow and frost anyway. Zari washed all the clothes too. She went to the store and bought fresh ingredients and cooked and sautéed and fried and basted and filled Roya's freezer with crèches and rice dishes and stuffed grape leaf dolmens and meat patty côtelettes and potato quiche couscous. She opened the windows and let in fresh air. Freezing air was more like it. Zari even insisted on melting sugar in a saucepan, then adding a few drops of lemon juice and warm water to create a wax with which she wanted to remove the hair on Roya's legs. Do you think I honestly care about that right now? It's not for you. I can assure you that Walter does not care. I can assure you there is no reason he would even know there is some hair on my legs. Please, at some point you have to. Roya's body heaved with a familiar grief. She wanted to disappear. What difference did it make? No one could make it different. During Zari's 2-week visit, Roya sat once on the floor to play with her niece and nephew. She listened to their giggles and chortles. Then she got up. She climbed into bed and stayed there for the rest of the evening. When Zari brought up a tray for dinner, she lingered at the edge of Roya's bed. I had no choice, Roya June. I had to come with them. I couldn't leave them with anyone. Jack works into the night. He is no help. This is how it would be now. People would apologize for the presence of their children, tuck away their happiness from her, become self-conscious of their joy. This was her new destiny. During those 2 weeks, in addition to cleaning the house and stocking Roya's fridge, Zari entered the nursery. She did ask first, and Roya could barely muster up a shrug. Zari brazenly boxed up Marigold's clothes, put toys in bags, visited the church with donations. She had the audacity to tell Roya that she'd saved a few outfits for her to look at later, when she was ready. She'd never be ready. Thank you, Zari. Thank you, Walter said again and again. Aren't you kind? So kind of you to do this. You have no idea how much we appreciate it. Uber polite, wimpy Walter. The hell with both of them. The hell with Walter's manners and Zari's zeal. What was the point of going through her child's clothes, of washing the blasted windows? Roya stayed in bed and stared at nothing. In the rocking chair, where she had breastfed Marigold, Walter sat with his damn drink and rocked to and fro in silence. When the day came for Zari's flight back to California, Roya did not cry. Or did she? She cried so much these days it felt invisible. She couldn't tell sometimes. When she thought she'd wrung out the last possible tear, there was always a well of more. Bye, Roya said. So tidy, so American. Bye. Easy peasy. See ya. Maybe there was something to these Americanisms. Breezy, casual. They made everything seem like strawberry milkshakes and good times coming. I'll miss you, sister, Zari whispered in Farsi as she wept into Roya's neck. I'll miss you so much. You can always write to me. I'll telephone you. You know the next time I can come. I will. Bye, Roya said it again. Thanks. She didn't know if she'd ever access gratitude or kindness in herself again. She wished she could stop the ice forming around her. I am so sorry. Zari smelled the same way she had when they were girls sharing a room in Iran. Like tea. Like home. You know you can always go. You'll be late. Little Layla made a fuss about leaving, and Darius hid behind the couch in a game of hide-and-seek that no one was playing. After some cajoling and yelling, Zari scooped up her children and shepherded them into the taxi cab waiting outside. Roya waved. Walter had said goodbye that morning with endless thanks and gestures of gratitude and apologies that he could not drive Zari to Logan Airport. He had a motion to prepare. The judge was relentless in this case. Roya stood in the doorway and looked out at the snow as the cab took away her sister, nephew, and niece. Behind her, a spotless, organized house filled with food in the fridge. In front of her, nothing. Nothing to do but to go back to work. Eventually, you waxed your legs again. Not one hair there to bother Walter. See, sister? In their grief, husband and wife slowly achieved a new equilibrium. They patted around each other carefully at first. And then, with more spontaneity because, as it was said, life somehow went on. Snow turned to spring. Roya couldn't bring herself to celebrate Persian New Year for the first day of spring, though. No Nowruz. What was there to renew? What rebirth was there to celebrate? The seasons were indifferent to Marigold. Someone had mangled the script, taken the pages, and burned them in a fire, destroyed all semblance of meaning and order. Someone had wrought this wrong. Happy spring! She got home from work a little earlier than usual on the first day of spring and made some tea. Walter was working late, and Roya did her best to ignore Persian New Year. When the doorbell rang, she expected it to be Mrs. Michael from across the street. She sometimes came by with cookies or a pie, much more so in the past few months since Marigold had died. But when she opened the door, Roya was surprised to see not Mrs. Michael, but Patricia. Patricia wore a dark blue coat with hexagonal buttons and carried a grocery bag. Her blue suede pumps were sensible and looked expensive. May I come in? Patricia asked. Of course. Please. Roya stepped aside so Patricia could come into the foyer. Roya knew better than to ask her sister-in-law to remove her pumps. The first time Walter had mentioned that Roya preferred for people not to come inside with shoes on, Patricia looked confused and said, I didn't use up half my paycheck on footwear so I could walk around in my stockings. Roya took Patricia's coat, hung it up in the foyer closet, led Patricia into the kitchen, and asked robotically if she would like some tea. That would be lovely, thank you, Patricia said. She put down the grocery bag on the table and cleared her throat. Then she said, I went to Mount Auburn after work. Roya stiffened. Marigold was buried at Mount Auburn Cemetery. Mount Auburn Street. The shop's there, Patricia went on. I got you something. Some things. Roya watched as Patricia removed items from her paper bag and placed them carefully on the kitchen counter. There was a small pot of hyacinths in cellophane and a bag of apples, chocolate coins wrapped in gold foil, and a packet of sumac spice, a bottle of vinegar, and a few cloves of garlic. There was even a bag of senjed, the dried fruit of the lotus tree. These were all items that began with the letter S in Farsi, traditional items for the Persian New Year, Hapsin 7S's table. Roya had carefully laid out these symbolic objects every single year growing up with Maman and Zari and Baba. It was a tradition she hoped to share with Marigold one day. It was not a tradition she had ever expected Patricia to help her celebrate. Happy New Year, Roya, Patricia said gently. A lump the size of all of New England rose in Roya's throat. A sheen of sweat coated her skin. She was filled with a huge wave of gratitude that made her want to fold over and cry. Thank you, Patricia, Roya whispered. Patricia turned to straighten the hyacinth and move the sumac spice over to the left a little. She was not one to express her feelings all too well. This much Roya knew. But when she turned around, Roya saw that her sister-in-law's eyes were filled with tears. I am, Patricia said. So very sorry. Roya didn't know if she was giving condolences again for Marigold. So many people told her they were sorry whenever they saw her these days. It was one of the things she heard the most. Or if Patricia was perhaps apologizing for anything she said in the past. Roya just nodded. Patricia reached into the paper bag and retrieved another item. It was a small see-through sachet filled with the thin crimson threads that Roya knew so well. Where did you find saffron? Roya gasped. Oh, I did my research. I have my ways. Patricia came close and gently pressed the sachet of saffron into Roya's hands. For a minute, she kept her hands around Roya's. Then she quickly straightened herself up and said in a loud and authoritative voice, Now then, where is that tea you promised me? They sat together that afternoon and drank the tea. Their conversation was halting at first, but slowly they opened up more. For the first time since she'd married Walter, Roya and Patricia even commiserated about Walter's obsession with the Red Sox. Thank you, Patricia, Roya said when Patricia got up to leave. I do appreciate this, more than you know. No need to thank me. Patricia went into the foyer and got her coat. At the door, she hesitated. Then she said, I may have been a bit hard on you these past few years. Perhaps. You have to understand that Walter is my only sibling, and I adore him. You could argue I love him to a fault. Mother says I mollycoddle him. No one is ever good enough for my little brother, and all that. But... Patricia fidgeted with the buttons on her coat and then looked up. Well, Roya, we may have lost Marigold, but we are so very grateful to have you. She quickly walked out, went down the front, and slid into her car. Roya stood at the doorway, and this time, she broke down into tears. They became the couple that others turned their head toward and gave a sad smile to. The couple prayed for at Alice's church, the ones who received cards in the mail filled with fountain pen condolences. Roya continued to work at HBS, and she felt for Walter a strange kinship. They were united in pain. He spent every night drinking in the rocking chair before bed. She retreated into her shell. Ice frozen over a melted layer is even harder to break than before. A routine of work and a few friends, and painstakingly, a semblance of return to the world. Eventually, Walter and Roya went out again to dinners at their neighbors'. Sure, she even got out the pots and pans again and cooked. For Walter. She forced herself to buy rice and soak it in the lukewarm water and boil it. And one night, when Walter came home from the office, he worked at a huge law firm now in Boston, near the Prudential Center. He was successful, everyone told him so. He was able to smell again the fragrant saffron, thanks to Patricia. He held Roya close and inhaled her hair. She was glad that he didn't say something awful like, "You're back." For their anniversary a few months later, they went to a restaurant for the first time since. At the table, Walter took her hand. Roya June, we should try again. The words landed like sharp needles against her scalp, her skin. Not if you're not ready, but I don't know. We are so young, Roya June, aren't we? I'm not saying now. I'm saying when you're ready. She would never be ready. She would never want in any way to replace Marigold. Why had she agreed to come out with Walter? She wasn't even ready to be out in public at a restaurant where everyone around them was having fun. All she wanted was her daughter. She wanted to feel her daughter's face against her cheek. She wanted to hold her and hear her laugh. She wanted Marigold. Under the dim light of the restaurant, Walter's expression was pleading. Not for the first time, Roya saw how he'd aged. The Berkeley Cafe coffee cup spilling incident was 7 years ago. They'd been married for 5 years. It was 1963. They were 27. But their loss had removed them from the normal scheme of things. They were part of an elite club who'd experienced a coup of the natural order of life. Marigold had come in their 4th year of marriage, unannounced and unexpected, but oh so welcome when she arrived. Only then to disappear and prove Roya's every worst fear true. Honey. She hated it when he called her honey. He only called her that when he was being patronizing. Roya June was what he called her when he was actually affectionate, but honey meant, I know better, honey. Honey meant, you're not thinking clearly, of course. We'll have another child. Honey meant that he had no idea that the only reason she hadn't quit it all was out of obligation to him. I can't. No, she said. He got up, and she thought that he was going to the bathroom. Maybe he was even leaving the restaurant. He had every right to get away from her. She had been impossible since Marigold's death, selfish and quiet and withdrawn. Maybe he would go to the restroom and gather his wits in his very Walterish way and come back with a facade of good cheer, as much as he could muster in public. And they could go on eating their beef stroganoff amidst the clatter of the restaurant. They would pretend to be like any other couple there. But he didn't leave. He came to her side of the table. He knelt down and gently took her face in both his hands. His blue eyes were filled with a sadness that was theirs alone. She will always be right here, Walter said. And he touched his chest just like he had during the first time Roya had cooked for him in Mrs. Kishpaw's kitchen all those years ago. Then he rested his forehead against hers. The waiters came and went, the other diners clanged their utensils and chattered and guffawed every once in a while. Roya and Walter stayed that way, foreheads touching. Of his love, she had never been more sure. For every ounce of grief that she had, Walter had the same. He had labored with her in his grief, felt his way through the darkness and the depth of it. And all the time as the world carried on, he was there by her side. Walter was always there. Reliable, trustworthy, steady. The love that she and Walter shared was a lifeline she did not want to do without. At the end of the Christmas holidays, after Marigold had been gone for almost a year, she dragged the rocking chair down the stairs into the curb. She knew Mrs. Michael was watching from her window across the street as she did it. In the town where America had begun, Roya deposited the rocking chair on the curb and left it there for someone new to pick up, take home, rock on. That was very sad. Parents should never have to bury their children. Any marriage yet, Patricia? Patricia has no marriage. I totally thought Patricia was going to come in and be an a-hole, so I was really happy to see that she was actually really nice and in fact did something very, very kind. Up until this point, we've watched Patricia kind of hate, you know, that Roya's from Iran. So it was really cool to be like, see her be like, you know, grateful and give her the Persian New Year, try to make her happy a little bit. Hi, Loco, welcome in. How are ya? Thank you for the check-in. That was a really sad chapter. Like, your mom went through that rough. Parents should never have to bury their children. And to think that I mean, if Marigold was only 1 when she passed, that means Roya was still also going through postpartum, right? And then having to like wrestle that with grief just sounds crazy. Ugh. It's so sad. All the while her sister has 2 healthy kids. She knows Baman has more kids. I get why Walter asked her, like, if they, you know, should try again, but like, at the same time, dude, like, according to the story, it hadn't even been a year yet, so she should have hit him. She'd been like, Marigold's not even been in the ground for a year yet, and you're already talking about having another one? I would've, she should've hit him. I'm just kidding. Walter sounds like a really sweet guy, though. I cannot lie. Like, he sounds like he's been really great. I get why she feels disconnected to him. I'm not saying it's right, but I get it, you know? After that, I can see why maybe she's always thought about Maman, but that's pretty sad. Ugh. It looks like we're heading into another part. So that was considered part 4, and now it's saying part 5. So let me go ahead and reset this timer. Oh, that was so sad. I can't figure out what the baby might have... It sounds like the baby just died out of, you know... What do you call it? What do you call it? Like having the fever, you know? That's what I'm... SIDS... I don't know if it's SIDS because that would be like... Well, she mentioned that there was a fever, and I feel like SIDS... I don't know if SIDS is the same... Like if it comes with fever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but she was saying like, where is it? She had a fever for days. And the fever kept getting higher, so I don't know. I don't either. I just know they die sometimes. Yeah, like that's horrific. I don't even know what they could have done other than just try to lower her fever and maybe get some more, get her on oxygen. Like, it's hard to say what might have done it, but it's all really sad. That was a long chapter. Ugh. Alright, let's get into part 5. Hopefully, this one's not as grim. Oh, and it looks like we're going to 2013. We've been in the 1950s, 1960s, but now we're jumping to 2013. So... Chapter 23, 2013, Virtual Friends. If there was one thing Claire would ban, it was TV commercials. And if there was one thing she couldn't stop watching, it was these commercials. Her friends on Facebook told her to record her shows and just fast forward through the advertisements or to download them from a streaming site. But Claire couldn't help but watch each program in real time with all the ads, almost a masochistic way. Like dwelling on a wound, like itching a scab and feeling it sting. Every night after she came home to her small apartment in Watertown, Claire made herself a dinner of pita bread with turkey and tomato or top ramen noodles or microwave packaged rice and a fried egg. She turned on the TV and prepared to feel the sting. She didn't watch the shows her friends on Facebook watch, the dramas on cable that won all the awards, sexy, well-written, edgy shows that warranted social media status updates, and spoiler alerts and virtual water cooler conversations. She watched instead, almost with horror, reality shows featuring plastic surgeried housewives fighting in expensive restaurants or families with 20 happy children going through scripted mayhem. During the commercials, Claire would lie under her beige blanket as buddies ate fast food together. Parents and children found bliss with mobile phone apps. Cute toddlers ran around in diapers. Fathers tearfully watched their daughters grow up in a montage from a baby in a car seat to teenager behind the steering wheel. Claire scoffed at the sentimentality and rejected it, but longed for it all the same. Years ago, she had been a long-legged undergrad at a college majoring in English literature, convinced she'd end up as a successful and content university professor. But then her mother had called in tears saying, "It's positive." The tiny lump in her mother's breast ended up, even after removal, continuing its evil journey throughout her body, so that by the time Claire was 24, Her mother was in a graveyard in Bedford, Massachusetts, just a mile from the local Whole Foods, and Claire was tented in chronic grief. Her father had died in a car accident when she was just a toddler, and those diapers constantly featured in the commercials she watched at night alone now. Claire had felt, at a very young age, the stunning reality of being alone. Boyfriends came and went. None of them stuck, even though she had been convinced that she was in love once, maybe twice. Now, at age 30, her friends from school were either married or in serious relationships. They were scattered all over the country and even the world. Her link to them was through social media, not through phone calls or that ancient ritual of actually seeing one another. She followed their colorful, happy, but oh so careful to be self-deprecating lives online. She read status updates of, "Yes, it's true, we have a bun in the oven," and pressed like, even though she sometimes felt empty and jealous. She saw the photo of her pregnant friends on beaches with their husbands' arms around them and pressed like. She opened her laptop to see the babies born, small, scrunched up newborns in hats, and read all the comments. "So happy for you, Jenna. OMG, he is gorgeous," and pressed like, and added her own "congrats." She scrolled through selfies of her former classmates, vacationing in Costa Rica and Hawaii with their kids, and was mirrored in a strange stew of envy and happiness for them. Then she turned on the TV and watched families drink hot chocolate and have fights and makeup, and fathers give car keys to their newly licensed daughters. And all she could think was just how much she missed her mom. Her room was lined with books written by gurus and advice givers who told her that she could look within and meditate, and be grateful, and count her blessings, and write in a gratitude journal. Claire did. But once it became clear that her English literature degree from a small liberal arts college in Connecticut qualified her for administrative jobs and folding clothes in retail stores, once she realized that she was never going to have the courage to apply for a PhD program in English and become a professor, she took the money from her mom's life insurance, rented an apartment in Watertown, floated from retail job to administrative job, and found herself one day, at age 30, working as the assistant administrator at the Duxton Senior Center. She liked her job. She liked being with people day in and day out who were close to exiting the stage, so to speak. She appreciated that they did not, for the most part, that they did not have, for the most part, the fake humility and the need to prove that they were happy, happy, happy. She loved that the old grumpy men coughed and spat and snarled and made no pretense that life was good. She enjoyed helping the other ladies apply bright pink lipstick with religious regularity, as if skipping that one act alone would mark complete surrender to their age. She helped Miss Emily roll her nylons up her blue-veined legs, and she buttoned Mr. Rosenberg's cardigan with care. The ladies and gentlemen at the Duxton Senior Center were the only reason Claire hadn't given up. They were all she had left. Her friends from elementary school and high school and college were now simply friends on Facebook. A new category, it seemed in her mind. FOF, who existed only as digital images, whom she hadn't seen in years, and who scrolled through life in happy, occasionally messy, but always exclamatory moments. Her father wasn't even a memory because she'd been too young to know him. Her most vivid image of him was from a photo her mother had attached to their fridge with an eggplant magnet. A tall, grinning man with blonde hair standing by a picnic basket next to her mom. There had been no fancy wedding, just a justice of peace, her mom had said. For years, she'd had a mother, beautiful and kind. A mother who told her stories about her father, and who lamented being an only child who'd given birth to an only child, and how little family they had, but they had each other, didn't they? That's really all they needed. And her baby was her everything, her beautiful baby who gave her life meaning. She was her gorgeous little girl, wasn't she? I'm sorry if I'm embarrassing you, sweetheart, but it's true. You are my life. And you and me, girly girl, we're gonna take on the world, aren't we, Claire? And oh, how your father would have loved to see you now, sweetheart. And we can make it on this planet, girly girl, we can. You're so smart and so talented, and you just wait. You're gonna be the big deal one day. You already are my pride and joy. And then cancer had wiped her mother from the world, and Claire felt desperately, inexplicably, painfully, permanently alone. No mom to come home to, call on the phone, cook a favorite dish with. No mom to tell her that everything would be all right. And the strange, horrifying realization that things wouldn't be all right. Ever. Even if her FOF scaled mountains in Asia and raised perfect children and celebrated romantic anniversaries in faraway resorts. Everything wasn't all right for Claire. At 30, she grasped this, owned this, knew this. She did not feel the need to pretend otherwise. The husbands and babies and romance and, oh my gosh, look at my messy but oh so full and beautiful life status updates were not in her future. Hers were nights of reality shows and days spent in the reality of people nearing death. She loved her senior residents at the center, even the ones so close to going that every morning hearing them say, well, hey there, Claire, felt like a miracle. Mr. Rosenberg told her tales of his life in Queens, New York, back in the day, and Mrs. Ventura was about to step over to the other side every single week, or so she said. Claire's favorite was a Mr. Baman Aslan, who had been there for 2 years. She called him Mr. Batman. He was always kind, and she loved to hear his tales of youth in Iran, his political adventures, the years he spent during the war, his great love. People like Mr. Batman, his jokes, complaints, sorrows, ailments, regrets, perspective, memories, were the reason Claire woke up every morning, ate a dry, stale-tasting protein bar, and drove in her 7-year-old Honda from Watertown to Duxton. The Duxton Senior Center was a combination of a senior center and a nursing home. Seniors could just visit to partake in activities or be boarders under a more traditional nursing home model. Claire threw herself into the concerns of her seniors and residents. Thanksgiving was with them. Christmas was with them. Her life was with them. And outside of that life was simply FOF and the damn shows and commercials on TV. She would take the stories of her residents any day over all that, especially the memories and life anecdotes of Mr. Baman Aslan. Claire is, I don't know if you guys even remember the name of Claire, but Claire is the name of the assistant at the very beginning that Roya spoke to and was like, I'm here for a Baman, you know? We're in 2013. We're getting close. Getting close to the end, guys. Let me see how many chapters we have left. How close? 1, 2. I'm trying not to read anything. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sheesh. 7. 8. 8 chapters left. So I will read, if we have 8 chapters left, I always do 3, 3, 2. I guess I could do 3, 3, 2. I don't think I want to do 4 and 4. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna read one more chapter, and if this is a quick one, I'll play a game of Hearthstone afterwards. But that's where we're at. So we are just a couple more reading streams away from finishing this book. Pretty crazy, right, guys? It's been a long trek. I wonder what we'll read next. This is very interesting. I'm quite enjoying it. This past chapter with Claire just felt like filler to me. But I mean, it was sad. Game time flying through it. I don't know. This has been a long time coming. But yeah, this last chapter was just like, oh, let's set the tone. Let's introduce Claire. Let's get back into the senior center. So let's read one more. This will be what, chapter number 4, but technically feels like 3 because that first one was really short. So here we go. Chapter 24, 1978 to 1981. Dispatches. August 1978. Cinema Rex was lit on fire the other day. More than 400 people killed. People trapped and stuck. People running and striving to get out of that place, only to find that they never could. I couldn't help but think of our dates at Cinema Metropole. It was 25 years later to the day of the coup, and now, here we go again. Every day, there are more and more demonstrations in the streets. My children believe the answers lie in Ayatollah Khomeini, the exiled religious cleric who has a huge following all of a sudden. I just don't know. The young here these days need something to latch onto, something to believe in, and for that something to not be the Shah. History repeats itself. To watch these young students pour into the streets again, convinced that if they rid themselves of the Shah, all problems will be solved, is painful. Yes, he was complicit in Prime Minister Masagde's ousting, and the West then propped him up, but the youth today thinks that all their problems will be solved if the Shah just goes away. I worry about what may follow. We want democracy, but never seem to get it. What if what follows is worse? I wonder about you over there in America. I get some news from Jahangir, and for that I'm very grateful. I'm glad the two of you still talk. Amazing to think that in this modern world we can communicate across oceans just by picking up the telephone. Jahangir tells me that you are working, that you have a job at Harvard. Bravo to you, Roya June. You were always destined to do great things. March 1979. Now the Shah is gone. All I see in the faces of those of us who remember 1953, who can feel under our skin that awful disappointment of having the world plummet in one day, is the return of trauma. The youth are so hopeful. They think we got it right this time. They are glad the Shah is gone. He's trying to get to America, but I hear your new country won't let him. How, after everything he did for the US, is your country not letting him in? Maybe this time we'll get a true democratic government. I'll believe it when I see it. Do you remember the twilight on the evening when I proposed the purple of the sky? Do you think I have not looked at the sky on 100 other nights remembering your kiss? August 1981. Since Saddam Hussein attacked Iran last September, the war has only gotten worse and worse. We spend our nights in the basement bomb shelter. My children are frightened all the time. You would not recognize parts of this country now. We have been blown up. At night, we cover our windows with aluminum foil so Saddam's planes cannot find our city and its lights. We live in perpetual fear. My children are in their early 20s, and I do not want my son to be drafted into the army, to be told to fight and kill Iraqis. For what? For this new Islamic government to feel powerful and rally us around their flag? And my daughter is forced to wear the hijab when she steps outside. What have we become? I can barely recognize my country anymore. Roya June, Jahangir joined the army as a doctor. My dear Roya, he was killed at the front. His place is so empty here. What is he doing with these letters when he writes them? I always wonder, like, this just occurred to me. She's been speaking with Jahangir. Like, why not just get some clarity from him, you know? Like, I don't get why that wasn't an option for them to try and speak through him, you know? Why is my Baldur's Gate always trying to patch itself when I don't want it to? Who was that? Jahangir was the rich friend of, what do you call it? You know, of them. Like, yes, appear offline. They had the friend, Jahangir, who would take them out and stuff like that. So, throw parties, teach them things like the tango. That's who that was. Like, if she's still been talking to him, why not, you know? Why not still talk? Like, why not just ask about, like, hey, is it true? Could you clarify with Baman if he actually felt this way? Like, there were so, you know, they could have done that. Those chapters were really heavy tonight. Like, talking about the death of kids, death of parents, now death of friends, and, like, all the hard politics. She's got a good thing with Walter. She does. Walter might be, like, boring and plain, but he's sweet to her, and he takes good care of her, and he's understanding, so. But I get it. Sometimes, like, you just have to feel that passion and that spark for someone, and I think that's why she's having such a hard time with him. She's too busy holding on to this guy that left her, right? Or that didn't show up. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break just before I dive into this game of Hearthstone, because I really don't want to cut the stream here. Like, an hour just feels short. Too short. So I'll probably play a game or two of Hearthstone. And then we'll talk about what's to come later on in the week, guys. I'm looking forward to it. But stand up, get water, do what you gotta do. And I will see you here in a few moments. Be right back, y'all. All right, y'all. We are back. What did you do during the break? Did you stand up? Did you get water? Did you stare off into the void? I want to know. And if you don't want to tell me, totally fine. Keep your secrets. Me, I sat here and checked my phone. I know that's so whack. But I was just replying, catching up, and then I doom scrolled a little bit. The internet can be so funny sometimes. And I just saved like 3 reels that I want to send to my friend. Also, before I forget, Tennyson98, welcome to the Honey Squad. Thank you so much for the follow. You have made my day so much sweeter. I'm sorry I didn't say it earlier. I was reading, and so I could not stop. I try not to do it, what do you call it? I try not to stop in the middle of the chapter, but welcome in. I do a reading stream once a week, and that was, usually I just do a few chapters, and that was that. So we'll definitely be, we'll be revisiting more reading here in the next week, or upcoming rest of the days. You know what I mean. You finished making green overnight oats. What does it mean to be a green overnight oat? You got an ice cream. Nice. You watched a video of a guy saving another person who had a trench coat collapse. Oh, who had a trench collapse in a trench coat. You had a trench collapse in on them and triggered your anxiety remembering when it happened to you. That sounds horrific. I would hate that. The other night I had to drive in like a crazy storm, and I like called a friend, and like the thunder was all around me. I literally was like, haha, I'm in hell. And I just started like laughing because I can't remember the last time I felt fear like that. Like I'll feel anxiety, right? I guess like everybody, but feeling like genuine fear. It's been a minute since I feel like I felt like that. And that night I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrific because the rain was so bad and then people were driving like crazy. So you blended the almond milk with spinach and put in with oats and berries. Oh, okay. I've never been an overnight oats girl because I feel like it gets too soggy, but let me know how it turns out. Probably the most immediately terrifying thing that happened to me, like that immediate, like, oh, I'm gonna die. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you never have anything like that happen to you again, because that's pretty horrific. What kind of ice cream is it, Bowl? It will be soggy, but I'm good with it. I wish I could be an overnight oats girly. I think I just have to find the right recipe. Okay. So I really haven't been playing too much Hearthstone. However, I did play a game yesterday where I came out in second. And then I had this crappy game for 6th, and then this crappy game for 6th, and then this 4th place, and this 2nd place. So I've been a little up and down. But I really haven't been playing as much, which is why the climb is going so slow. So here we go. But now that Bull said ice cream, I'm gonna get that. Ice cream would be tits right now. I had an ube cream cake earlier, and what do you call it? It was really good. I just realized that that expression that I just said, I say that all the time in real life. I don't know how often I say it here, but if you guys didn't know, that's a very common toasty phrase. She's getting more real, if not make cereal. Cereal, okay, overnight oats. I've said it a few times. Okay, cool. My brain stopped and I had to reboot. I was like, do I say that here? It doesn't need to surpass. Overnight oats will never surpass like normal oatmeal. Beast mix, pirates, cold war, undead. Let's just do this guy. Sometimes I'll go through phases where all I'll want is oatmeal and then it goes away. My favorite type of oatmeal is the oatmeal that's like something and cream. Alright guys, let's talk. You guys want me... You guys want me... would like to see me play... What do you call it? Subnautica, right? Is that something you guys would be interested in? You make protein oatmeal every morning. Ooh, Ooh, put your protein in there. Thank you for the clip, PSO Addict. I do have video editing on my list of things to do this week. Sure. Also, as much as I want to keep playing Pocopia, I recognize that maybe it's time for something different. I do have Subnautica 2 from a friend that I could just borrow, so considering it, I want to watch you play whatever you enjoy. Sure, it would be scary for you, so I don't mind. Hi, King Thomas. That's why you want me to play? Is because you think it would be scary for me? Then that'll probably be what I stream this week. Subnautica 2 would be fun. Do you like that kind of game? I don't really know what it's about, so... I like to look at the skins, especially when they move. This one doesn't, though. You've never seen it, right? Not really. I know it's about, like, being deep in the ocean. Don't spoil it for me. Underwater survival on another planet. I like to move and move it. It's going pretty well, King Thomas. How are you? I like how she worries about overplaying certain games for us. Anyway, here's Hearthstone. I haven't been playing a lot of Hearthstone, though. But, like, Pocopia, I've been playing it non-stop. Also, Hearthstone. Hearthstone's like a pretty it's a staple in my stream, I'd say. I'm never gonna give it up. Because it's not very hard for me sometimes. But, like, Pocopia, you guys have been watching me play Pocopia and do, like, the same 5 or 6 tasks every time. So I just try to keep it fresh. You'll watch whatever I play. So supportive. You're alright, just chilling. I hate this. You're here for the vibes, you can play whatever you want. I'll be here. I'm alright, just chilling. I'm probably gonna play Subnautica 2 soon, guys. Yeah, but you like playing it, which I think is all most of us care about. Let's do you first. You. So I can't think about how one has the patience to do that much watering. I don't. I hate the watering. There were some games I didn't like, but like they said, I'm here to chill. I just want you to have fun playing anything you like. Well, thank you guys for being here to chill and enjoy the vibes. I do think Subnautica 2 is I'm gonna play, the next stream is gonna be a Subnautica 2 stream. I know I said Tuesday or Thursday, but I forgot that my therapist is out of town for a while. So I have my Wednesdays open too. So it could be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday that I do my next stream. Maybe like Wednesday so it breaks it up. I don't know yet, though. It'll be something one of those days, guys. I should just lock it in, though. I'll have an answer for you by COB tomorrow. Roll the dice. Or maybe I should ask the 8-ball. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna play Subnautica 2. I can say that much. As far as what's to come in the next stream. Let's just do you, I guess. Bam. Go Cupid! If you want to know something I don't like, is where you come on randoming in the AM or 2 PM. It's just if I have the time. I know that sucks. I know. It's if I come home early from work, if I have something in the evening I didn't want to cancel, but those shouldn't be, but I keep it 100 you do, and I appreciate that. Those types of streams should be less and less because now I only stream 2 times a week. Well, 1 to 2 times, but I really am trying to hold myself to 2 more than anything. 1 just seems so little. It's not that I don't like, but I lost my streaks. Oh no, your streaks. Oh, that's right. Keep up the momentum. You know what's kind of crazy about today? I know. Can I just step on my soapbox for a little bit? Today, I don't really want to debate this with anyone. It's just kind of something that I need to say. I always thought it was weird that on like Memorial Day, there's like a ton of sales, you know? Like, Memorial Day. Which also sounds like a crazy thing to say. Is there a tier 7 Cool War? Anyways, I always think about like, oh, it's kind of weird that there is all that stuff that happens. Ooh, what if I got this 7? Do I risk it for the biscuit? Let's risk it for the biscuit. Oh, there she is.
Nice workout.
Look at God. Won't he do it? Oh wait, I should have put this one out. That was silly of me. Gold in my hat. That's crazy. I can't believe that worked out for me. Take advantage of the vet's capitalism. I mean, it's cool. Like, vets like it, and active duty members like it. You know, we always love a discount, but it still is just it's just odd. You know, Port of Biscuit, RNG gods, Quilligraphy could have worked too. Who? They fought for these bargains. People will use any holiday as a chance to buy stuff, and companies love the sudden income influx. It's American. It is. It is. It is. They find a way to sell anything and everything on those holidays. Yes. It's a good day to remember those. We have lost the other trinket option. Oh, the quillography? Oh, yeah.
Water.
Bad RNG. No, this is good RNG. Hi, Tofiko. Welcome in. Thank you for the hydrant check. I will have one. I haven't purchased anything today. But Takova, which is a like boot company, I just saw an ad that they have a sale. They always do a military discount, but like today they up it. Why not? Just because I just haven't felt the need to buy anything since I've been buying things, guys. Right? We all know it. Should I just pick this up, my medic? Like, can I just place this by itself? Do I need to have a reason for it to have that? We will freeze for this guy. I was about to say you just buy it. I did buy a Jeep. Buy something my way. I'm gonna be lurking while I play Binding of Isaac. Enjoy, have fun. Oh my god, on my own random tangent, I got some opinions on the boys, and at some point I'm gonna need to vent. You can vent about the boys, but do not put any spoilers.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
I am gonna look, guys. I can't lie. Oh, my side is itchy. You are displeased and dissatisfied. Oh no! We're getting beat. I'll be watching tomorrow. Don't over scratch. I won't. I stopped scratching. I will say, like, it could have been better, right? It could have been way better, but it also could have been much worse. You know? We are gonna give you a +2. And we will cast this. Right, that's what he does. For the... Yeah. They all have taunt. You get a taunt. And you get a taunt. And... You... I guess can have it. You wish you could get a refund on the time. What? You thought it was that bad? The end of Game of Thrones could have been better, but also the ending of Lost. Game of Thrones had the worst ending, for real. I was pissed. It wasn't GOT bad, but it was not good. Thank God, but yeah. The ending of GOT was terrible. I don't think they could have ended it in a worse way. I will die on this hill. Like, I am the biggest Daenerys supporter, and I hated that people were like, it's so crazy that she went and burned that whole place down. No, it's not. That's what they get. I was a huge supporter of her burning that place to the ground. Good for her, honestly. It's been a long time coming. She deserved that crash out. Why couldn't it have hit? I don't want to be dramatic, but I kind of freaking hate this game. It's pissing me off so bad. I feel like I have the tools to succeed, and yet somehow it's just not happening for me.
I've got some fresh recruits for you. Shine like a gem.
You said I hate this game. Thank you. That was quick. Don't. It's not crazy, but the character arc to going from savior to the people to believing for whole city was not It was believable, and let me tell you why. So maybe sure Sanguine dies. Who's Sanguine? Her? She's gonna die. She's gonna hit first. It was the long night that sealed my look. She had so much happen that led up to this point. For the ending being seeing her best friend get their head chopped off. Like 1,000,000%. She absolutely deserved to crash out and burn that place to the ground. In my opinion, allegedly. I'm just gonna move these like this because I know there's no way I shouldn't lose them, so I shouldn't lose to this person that's dying. It was the long night that sealed my hatred for the 8th season, though. I was legit flabbergasted how they thought that would be a satisfying ending. The long night? What was that one? When was the last time a show had a good ending? That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think that over.
Have a good battle, friend.
Let's see. The long night. Oh, you mean the one where Arya was the savior? I hated that. I was like, ugh, that's gross. She didn't die? Hit this one. Hit this one. Hit this one. No.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure. You're down a minion and up a gold.
Actually, I really need people with death rattles. Like, I don't even want this one. Is that whack? I'm gonna get rid of him.
Hey, watch out! I'm thinking. That's what I would have done. Move in here. gem.
I just buy stuff at complete random. I gotta. I wish somebody else had more health, but let's give it to you. I don't know. If we die, we die. Yeah, dude, the real big bad of the snow was supposed to be the White Walkers, and they came like a one episode threat at the end. I just wasn't into it. That episode was whack. I wasn't really a big Arya fan in general, so that's how I feel about that. Look, guys, I'm rusty playing in front of you. I'm rusty playing in front of you guys right now. I've been doing this by myself. I've been playing alone. I haven't even been playing it at the gym lately. That's a cute little... That's cute.
Turn this around.
That is a very cute emote. I want one. We're probably out here. I thought you were bleeding, but it was just a piece of raspberry. A standing emote. Yeah, that was cute. Thank you for the posture check. I am not sitting up straight at all. We're out. We're not surviving this. So much has gone wrong so fast. I just couldn't get it together, guys. Just a little guy staying. He's just a little guy. If they kill the guy on the right, we might live, but they didn't. This game is so fun. This game is so stupid. This game is stupid. Let's just try this again. I can't believe I just played this bad in front of you guys. This is embarrassing. I'm not going Quillvors no more. I only do good with demons, elementals,
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity. I didn't even say it. I can't believe I lost points. Ugh, let's go again. One more for the cheap seats in the back. That sucks, y'all. Boo, hiss. I'm looking. Just looking. We will go with Rakara. 3 years of not going Quillvors anymore. I just don't like it. Watch your profanity. I was slouching so bad. I just can't help myself. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I just be slouching. I have to be really mindful of it though, because I feel like my posture's getting a little bad here lately. I am looking at these boots after I said I wasn't going to. I don't know what 20% of some of these numbers would be. You know? And my size is out, so I guess that takes care of that. If you guys ever wanted to know what... I'm gonna do it myself. I'll do it myself. No, it's not that good of a discount, so I'm closing it.
What's your strategy this time, partner?
I can hear it in your voice when you do. Bam. Bam. I just want to go Nagas. I Can math, do we say boots will find? No, because I don't need to look. I'm not really gonna buy a new pair. I have enough. I wear my white ones more than anything. I wore them both nights, so as long as I have the one, I have everything. Dude, there are no good Steam deals. Steam always has a sale going on. It never not has a. It's like Royal Caribbean, right?
Don't tell the others.
And I guess, well, I don't really check the other ones, but I get maybe Carnival is like this too. They always have deals going. Save your bread. Exactly. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
How's it going out there?
Although if you save your money, you too can look like me. Chat. Just kidding. I do a very healthy balance of both. Nothing looks good right now. Subnautica 2, man. Does Nintendo ever do sales? Does anyone know? They do. Lamau, no. LOL. Why are we saying LOL? I want to laugh too. I want to LOL. Nintendo hates sales. Because they hate their customers. Rarely, but yes.
The battle is really raging out there.
Gold in my teeth, gold in my hat. From $70 to $65, that's horrible. Because Nintendo are villains. That's crazy. I believe it. Let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. Bam, 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 bam.
I think you
Boom,
can win this
boom,
thing.
boom, boom, boom. What is this? What is this? What does this mean?
Your minions really pulled their weight.
I'll come back to this. You guys made me think of something. All right, let's go ahead and pick this up.
That one might make all the difference.
Go ahead and let's pick you up. Ready. Ready or not, here I come. Though there are third-party and indie developers that do have good sales on the Switch store. Do people still buy used games? Is that a thing? But Nintendo games never, except Mario and Rabbids. That game is like 70% off for some reason. Does it suck? I want like Tomodachi Life. I know a lot of people play that. It's a Ubisoft game. When they re-release Animal Crossing, I'm on the fence on if I'm gonna go back into it or not. It's a Ubisoft game, that's why. Oh.
I think you could win this whole thing.
It's like a Final Fantasy Tactics style game. I hate undeads. Undeads are so annoying! God. They're the worst.
I've got some fresh recruits for you.
Hate is a strong word, but I really, really, really like you. Wah. Love, 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 love. Man, what is a song that I heard the other day? I wrote it down because I liked it so much. I'll have to find it for you guys. Like what I've had on repeat lately. Sing a little bit. Well, so I heard it on Zoe's Extraordinary playlist. It's called We Gotta Get Out of This Place by the Animals. I had only ever heard the what do you call it? I'd only ever heard like the cover of it, and then I finally listened to the real thing and I was like, wow. And I've kind of had it on replay here lately. So if you wanted to know what's been in my rotation, that very old song. It's like from the 1960s. I've also been really into I Can't Love You Anymore by Ella Langley featuring Morgan Wallen. Let's see, what is this? Get a goldenizer. We gotta get out of this place. I don't want this one. I don't want random beasts. Yo, I know that one. Which one? Do you guys think I should... PSO Addict, what do we think? This or this one? Like making a friendly minion golden every 3 turns? I think I'm gonna go with this one. Because I don't really want to go beast. I can't love you anymore. Can't keep chasing you around in the back of my mind. I can't need you anymore. Does sing House of the Rising Sun? I don't know. Okay. Nobody's answering me. I'm really unsure. Follow my heart? My heart says either of these would be great. But I guess this one, because we're here. Wow, this game really doesn't want me to go like Nagas at all. Anymore. I can't love you anymore. Now let's find some cool stuff to gold. I suppose. Maybe I should have just got the beast one, because, like, look around. Yeah. I'm so tired of undeads. Quit being reborn. Nobody wants you here. Stop spawning extra things. We hate you. Magic 8 Ball, Magic 8 Ball, reach into the other side and grant Yerp this piece of knowledge. Should he play Helldivers?
Your minions really pulled their weight.
Reply hazy. Try again. Dang, I'll try again in a second, buddy.
Great. Let's get some better minions in here.
What part of over don't I understand? Dun, da, 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 da. Your memory pulls me right back in. That's why I'm in. Da, da, da. Yeah, they literally don't want you to know the answers at all. They just don't think. I don't know. They just think it would be. What is this? They just don't want you to be happy. Yerp. Magic 8 Ball. Let's try again. Magic 8 Ball. Could you please grant Yerp some clarity and answer him this? Should he play Helldivers? Outlook, not so good. Don't play it. You will die. In the future, though, since Toast ain't streaming as often, if anyone wants to play with me, hit me up. Bam. If he plays Helldivers, he will definitely die. It said don't do it, dude, so. Better not. We can dive as a community. I don't even know what that game's about. I bet you it's sitting in the thing too. This is all I want to play. I don't want to play Beast. Is that crazy? Singing the deep blues.
Go ahead and hire one of these.
What if I just like ignored this and went with what I wanted?
Stay alert.
Like, how crazy would that be? Wouldn't that just be like so quirky? Your memory pulls me right back in. It's why I can't love you anymore. In the back of my mind, I can't need you anymore. What's your highest in HD2? Probably about diving into HE double hockey sticks. I can't play now. The 8 ball has spoken, but maybe tomorrow. Yeah, what's your highest, buddy? I need to finish this Great Wave. I thought about doing it like 2 or 3 times this weekend, but then I don't know. I knew I had plans in the evening, so. This upcoming week, we're gonna work on some shorts. That's for sure. What level are you in the game? Let's keep it simple. Yeah, what level are you?
Everyone's gunning for you. Watch out.
The Goldenizer. Now I gotta find a Zesty Shaker. Oh, shoot. We are about to hurt. We're in pain. I'm in danger. I was never gonna stand a chance against them. Like, people are so puny. We have nothing going for us. Nothing. Nothing if I don't have you. They're shaking in their boots. I'm shaking in my boots. Holy crapoli. Can I just go with this one? Do you think these count as spells? Do these count as spells? Do you think this counts? They do? Alright, we're gonna go with this one. I kind of like this. Wait, oh, I played that wrong. Well, let's do this first. And then we're gonna buy it. And you can go, and you can come out. You can go, you can come out. And I think I'm gonna Goldenizer this. I don't know. Do you think it'll work? That's a leash. The tides are turning. The gates are open. Okay, let's pick you up for sure. I am going to do this.
That's what I would have picked.
Stop. I guess I can hold on to you for a second. Stop, drop, and roll. Okay, I'm okay with actually how this is going now. Stop, drop, shut up, down, and open up shop. Whoa. Something like that, right? That might have gotten my interest. What got your interest? Oh, wait. Toe shorts, they're shaking in their boots. Does dragon seem OP in this? No, I wouldn't say dragons. 42 things stopped playing for a while. Then I heard Warhammer crossovers coming. They do counts. It says Naga right on the bottom. Did it? I wasn't even reading. Might keep us alive. That might have got my interest. Stop in the name of love. You're not reading it? Not reading what? Oh, the what do you call it? What's written on the screen? No, you guys know I don't always read. Sometimes I do. Oh my gosh, I hate this so much because even though I feel like I'm doing well, like, it's not gonna be enough to combat all these stupids. Liv, I beg of you. I hate you so much. Anything in the game, the irony is that she reads us but doesn't when she needs to. I don't. Yeah, I don't want to read what the game has to say. Why would I? I don't want to upgrade yet. I want to find more things. Wait, actually, I probably should have done it because I need to have the things. Oh wait, she doesn't have anything that she does, so I guess I really don't need her. Who are you going? Undeads? I hate people who play undeads.
Jenkins!
Do you have Wind Fury yet? No, I don't think you do. Dragons have been kicking my butt all season. Undeads kick my butt. You can re-trigger the spell power battle cry and get some insane numbers. Oh, my sweet summer child.
Keep up the momentum.
Playing in front of you guys, I don't know, it's just hard. I have to be isolated these days. Feels like... No! See, this is what I'm talking about. Undeads are so disgusting. My preferred this season is I'm never gonna be an undead player. I like Nagas and Elementals, and I also like what do you call it? Who do I like? Freaking get the words out, Toast. What are you trying to tell these people? I like the people, the demons. Please hit left. I like demons.
I've got some fresh recruits for you. Great! I can bring in more powerful minions now.
The lava flows and I flow with it. Praise the abyss.
That's because I am a demon. I agree. I'm actually gonna put this one first and then this because I don't know, I want it to do what it needs to do. You and then probably did it get bigger because of that? We'll see. This is gonna be I'm gonna gold this one too. The fodder top end is crazy. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I just want this one to go first and
Keep up the momentum, friend.
demons, friends, undead hate with passion makes sense. Demons are okay, but they have no endgame potential for me unless I always get 7 minions on the field. But up Nagas are so chance to win. Oh, demon. I'm just a demons person. I like them. They're easy for me to understand, you know? Yeesh.
Your minions really pull
Can I
their
just
weight.
pick this up because I'm afraid I won't beat them?
Better hire a recruit while you
I
can.
don't even know who I want gone next. Maybe I'll win. Okay, hold on. I need to think. Well, first I want to do this.
Just keep shaking.
I guess maybe him. Like, he's kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't know. You can come out.
The darkness with me.
Just give it to you. You can come out. We will lose. I don't really know who I want out here. Like, I feel like I need her, you know? Did I already cast it? Pfft. Well, that's that. You can have this, I guess, for your poison. I'll put you first. I actually really don't know who needs to be where. Like, I'm so lost right now. I guess I'll just keep trying to make you bigger, I guess. I don't know. Well, we'll just see. I honestly have no idea. I'm all over the place right now. I don't even know where I'm at.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
Hit this one over here. You're fake. You're fake. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. Give me the ground stomper, or whatever her name is. Ground shaker. Wait, I don't even know if that other one is a thing anymore. Yeah. Okay, well, she's gotta come out. So I guess you're gonna go. And honestly, it might be too late for this one, so this one's gonna go too. I mean, I don't really know what I'm looking for that's gonna make me change my mind, you know? It's just too hard, guys. I shan't know. Okay, who do I want to have Divine Shield? Probably you, because you're gigantic. Like, that makes the most sense to me, you know? I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no direction in life. I'm all over the freaking place. I just want to get to level 6 where I could just keep swapping people out. Oh my gosh, I have to put these somewhere. Here. Enjoy. And you can get beefy too, and I guess you by default because you're here. I don't know. Well, we're just gonna see what happens. I used to know the lineup. You can Zesty the shield too. Zesty the shield. Oh yeah, I probably should at this point, honestly. Like, I keep holding out on the deep blues thing, but having more divine shields out against the undeads would actually probably be really helpful for me. I need to start thinking ahead. Oh, that blows. Please don't summon anything else. This is ridiculous. But it's okay because we won! Eat it, nerd! It wasn't much, but it was honest work. I just want to make top 4, and we did it, so I accept the outcome of this game.
Really pulled their weight.
Whatever that looks like. I feel like I need
Now
to do
we're
this.
in business.
I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of you anyways and put this out. We will zesty these. And I am gonna do this. What are you, undeads? Of course you are. One more humongous shield for you, buddy. Or one more boost. The next thing that I gold is gonna be this one. Maybe I should freeze. So I have this extra divine shield. Why not? We're already here, huh?
I think you can win this thing.
Hey Andrew, thank you for the check-in. Oh no, we're a goner. Oh no, they're huge. Stop. Don't summon anything. Don't do anything at all. I hate undeads. Undeads are the scourge of the earth. In my opinion, allegedly. They have no business being this ridiculous. This is stupid! Ah! In one go! Bam! Gone! Wasted! God. But you know what? We made top 4, so I can't be mad at it. I can't be mad at it. We're almost to... We're getting close to 3K, so... I'll take it, I guess. Ugh. Let's get this stream wrapped up, guys. I'm a little bit mad, I'm not gonna lie. I'm only gonna dwell on it a little bit. Just a little bit, I swear. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this glorious Monday night. We read, which was nice. We will meet again either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I am undecided. Probably not Tuesday, because then it would be back to back, and then I wouldn't see you guys till the weekend. So let's say either Wednesday or Thursday, okay? I will do my best to put it in the Discord or on my Twitch screen. I will do my best to put it in the Discord or my Twitch stream schedule beforehand. And expect to see some Subnautica 2 gameplay, you guys. I hope you enjoyed hearing all my updates. I know, like, a lot of it was just like, oh yeah, I went dancing, but that really was what I did, and it was so great, guys. I had such a fun, like, what a fun string of days in a row. For the most part, my stress levels have been kind of low, so I'm just, like, nervous. I bought it. I bought it, and I've driven her, and she's great. I love her. I'm happy with her. I've done a couple changes to her, just the headlights and the mirror thing. Other than that, I'm keeping her pretty bare bones. I should go check on that tire, though, and make sure it's not flat. Oh, you meant sub 2? Thought you meant the Jeep. What do you call it? I didn't buy Subnautica 2. My friend owns it, and they said I could borrow it. So, they were like, oh, I own Subnautica 2. I was like, yeah, you do. I was like, you do own it. So, I will be playing Subnautica soon, guys. Forget the Jeep We Want games. Yeah, I know. I forget. My bad. We will be playing Subnautica 2. So, my friend owns it, and I messaged them saying, hey, could I borrow this? And they said, yep. So that is what's coming, guys, soon. You want to see the Jeep? That's going to be the beach. Well, she's not yellow right now. She's maroon. but I will try to get a picture of her where I'm not in it. And there's nothing in the background that you guys can identify as my home. Where I'm at. Maroon 5. Not that I think any of you are that dedicated, but you never know. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and a wonderful rest of your week if I don't see you again. But I sure hope I do. And a cowgirl, a coastal cowgirl. Green screen it. Yup. Maybe I'll take it over by like a Walmart or something. Like the wall in a Walmart. Farewell, friend. Yes, I will see you guys very soon. I hope you guys have been enjoying the book. We have about like 2 more sessions before the book is just AI. You right. We have the technology. We have about 2 more reading sessions before this book will be done, and then I will be looking for new books. So that's also coming down the line. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night, and thank you once again. Good night and stay sweet, everyone. Bye, y'all.